Here's the latest addition to my layout. I purchased a Digitrax LNWI Wi-Fi system. So the reason why I purchased this is because I had the ability to use JMRI to create a WiThrottle server, and I'm able to use WiThrottle, the application, on my smartphone. But it was a little bit cumbersome because I had to have my computer plugged in the entire time, hooked up to my PR3, and then I basically had to go into JMRI, open up a server, and connect my throttle on my phone that way. So if you get the LNWI, it allows you to actually create a Wi-Fi hotspot around your layout without actually having a computer or JMRI. So I got this just for the flexibility of not having to have my computer hooked up the entire time. So here I have my Apple iPad, and I want to do a real quick disclaimer. I only use Apple products, so I can't answer questions for anything non-Apple related when it comes to working with the LNWI and the WiThrottle. So if you have any questions about that, you can do a Google search or go to the go to the trains forums or something like that and ask questions for non-Apple related products. Anyway, so I've got a couple sticky notes here covering up some of my personal information on my networks that I have here. So to connect to the LNWI, you need to get into your settings mode on your device. So on the Apple products, you click that little gear thing. Then you're going to go into the Wi-Fi menu. The Digitrax server should actually pop up as the DTX1 LN server. So you just have to tap that. And then there you can see it is connecting. Okay, so it is now connected, and I'll go ahead and open up the WiThrottle. So there are two WiThrottle products on the Apple Store. The first one is WiThrottle Lite. It gives you some functionality. It lets you run one train, which is actually fine. It lets you test the system out, and then they actually have the full version product, which is $9.99. I did go ahead and purchase the full version product because it gives you a little bit more flexibility on running trains. It lets you switch some auxiliary decoders, so like my turnouts are hooked up, I can control them through the WiThrottle. So basically, the WiThrottle, once you get connected to the LNWI server, this should actually automatically detect it. Now, if it doesn't, you can come down here to the server configuration, and you can actually click on this or tap on it to get it to the settings page, and then it should automatically pick that up, or you can manually select it. So I didn't have to do anything, it just automatically detected the server, so then I'm good to go. So since I'm connected here, sorry, I'm trying to hold and balance at the same time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn track power on. So when you do that, you'll see the UP5 light up. So now I have track power. You can hear one of my locomotives starting up. Okay, so here is my WiThrottle app. I have track power applied. I have my locomotive 8173 sitting there. So currently we are in the settings tab on the WiThrottle. So at the very bottom, sorry, I'm going to bring this up, there's an address tab, so we'll go ahead and tap that. To set your locomotive, you highlight the number entry, so I'm going to enter 8173 and hit set. So now that locomotive is set. The nice thing is it actually has your recents over here, so you can certainly, if you have a locomotive that you use quite frequently, you can just select it out of there. So once you have your address set, you can come down here and tap the throttle icon, and it switches over to throttle. You do have some functionality with this, or some different features. So if you go back to settings, if you wanted to go just a classic view, you can switch on the classic view. Really, it's sort of whatever your preference is. Nice thing about the classic view it gets you one locomotive, but then it allows you to have bigger function buttons. So I have 8173 programmed. You can see that that's the active address down here. To change it from the throttle, just tap it, and you can select a different locomotive or manually enter through your keypad here, but I don't want to do that. So tap back throttle. So 8173, make sure it's in the forward direction. You can tell by that arrow indicator it's a forward direction. This should activate the light. See the light activate. F5 is are the number board lights. F3 is the gyro light. F8 is going to be the prime mover. I'm not going to activate it, but basically you can just slide your throttle and you have full access to your locomotive. Again, one of the nice things I really like about this, you do have turnout functions on here, so all you have to do is just swipe it to the left. User TO, that's user turnout, tap that. This turnout right here is number 2, so I'm going to highlight number 2. It is currently in a closed position, so I'm going to hit the T for throw. You can see that activate there. C for close. So really this WiThrottle and the Digitrax LNWI give you full access, full control over your layout. So the LNWI retails for $79.99. I got mine off eBay for a little bit cheaper than that. To me, it's worth it. Again, if you have a PR3 and if you don't mind having to open up your computer and activating the JMRI to start a server, you know, that's entirely up to you. I just wanted a little bit more convenience, and for me it was worth it. The other piece that's probably more important to me and why I wanted to get this right away was because I am interested in getting one of the proto throttles that Iowa Scale Trains is coming out with this summer that actually operates off either the JMRI or the LNWI server. So in order for me, this is just preparatory for getting the proto throttle, because I think that's a really neat product, and I would certainly highlight or encourage you to go to their website and check it out, protothrottle.com. So I look forward to that being released. Hopefully they have the module for Digitrax compatibility released, you know, sometime later this spring or this summer. So if you have any questions about the LNWI, please let me know. But otherwise, thanks for watching.